All right, we're continuing with rational expressions. So there are fractions that are polynomials, one over top of each other. So we've talked a little bit about that in the last two sections. Now, there's an important trick that we have left to look at. So it won't make a lot of sense here. Let me dive into it and I'll show you what I mean. I would like to cancel here. So now this is not factored. The top number here, this is all one number, right? So I can't just cancel x's, I can't just cancel 8's. But the top and the bottom, those are all a number that are so very similar to each other. I would like to cancel them, but the one on the bottom is the reverse. It's in the wrong direction. It's 8 minus x instead of the other way around. Well, there's a trick that can fix it. Hopefully I have an activity that might have showed you this. So think of it like this. If I multiplied negative 1 into this, wouldn't I switch it around? I would make negative x plus, or negative 8 plus x. That would flip it. And so if we want to go in reverse, and we have something in a direction we don't want, we're going to pull out a negative sign. Let me see how they did here. Yeah, they didn't really show it. So let me show you what I mean. So I've got x minus 8 over 8 minus x. If I pulled out a GCF of minus 1 here, it would change the sign of everything that followed, just like up here. So if I pull a negative 1 out of here, it's going to turn it into x minus 8. It's going to flip it the other way around. Now, why is that useful? Because if I flip it around, now I have a match on the top and the bottom. Now, you're really pulling the negative 8 out of here, but the trick is just put it in front of the fraction. Okay, so by pulling it out, it allows me to put it in the reverse order. So what I've done is I've taken this bottom, I've pulled out a negative 1, which flipped it around. Now I'm going to put that negative 1 just as a minus sign out front. It's the same thing. Okay, now I've got a match on the top and the bottom. And now this would be like 1 over 1. So negative 1 is what I've done. Now I'll go through this again. We'll see this again. So these are so close, but it's the wrong way around. So what I can do is I can put a negative out front. It really came from the bottom, but that allowed me to reverse it. And if you're not sure that's true, put the negative back in, and it would flip them around. It would make that negative y and plus 2, which is what we had. Okay, well now that that's out, these are a match. And we've got to put 1's in each of those places. It becomes negative 1. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to flip that around. It's literally going to be negative 1. Do you see that? I'll flip it, we'll cancel, we'll get negative 1. Alright, now let's see it in a more complicated problem. So I'm going to have it happen here, but let's just pull the GCF out of everything first. Now on the bottom, I get that. Okay, now I want to start canceling, but look, I've got a reverse problem again. Now I'm going to reverse the one on the top. It doesn't matter. It's going to work exactly the same. I'm going to put the negative out front, which allows me to flip that around. Okay, now that it's flipped around, remember you got to keep that minus, but now I can cancel the matches. Get minus 2 over x plus 7. So this whole section, that's all I'm adding here, is that I want you to see this trick. It's important. And we're going to see it a lot when we get to the really harder material over the next few sections. Okay, we're going to do it again. Okay, now this on the top here, I want to flip it around. I'm going to put a big minus out front. That allows me to spin it around. Okay, now I got my matches. And so I am left. Now I moved it to the top. I didn't really mean to do that, but it is the same. But I would have preferred to leave it out front there. Okay, I don't know if we're getting anything different here. No, not really. Well, you know what? So this is less confusing. I'm going to go ahead and pull this minus. I already see where this is going. I'm going to pull the minus right at the beginning. I don't know if that's the way to show you it best or not. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best way to show you, but so I pulled that out so that I knew where this was going to go, and I wanted you to see that it changes all of this at the beginning. Maybe I'll work it through the other way too, and I'll show you what the alternative would have been. Okay, now we're there, we got our matches. You're going to get -3 over y plus 9, or the minus out front, same thing. Okay, so the alternative would have been, we can do this. Okay, and this is a little confusing for people because you say, okay, well, I want to just flip this one around. What happens? There's two things on the bottom and they're both the wrong way. You know what the truth is? 9 plus y is not the wrong way. Because they're both positive, that could be written as y plus 9 or 9 plus y. It's the same thing. So the only one we really need to spin around is this one. And then I would put the minus out front, and I'll just go ahead and do it. And I'm going to write this the other way around because it's the same thing, just because we're used to seeing it that way. Do you see what I mean? But the minus is what's causing this to be different. But 9 plus y or y plus 9, that's the same. Because we got our match. We got to the same place. Okay, we're just going to keep seeing this trick over and over. So I'm going to just let them show us here on this one. Factor everything down. I've got the 8 minus x is the wrong way, so they show it as a -1 out front, same as just the negative. Cancel down, you get that. All right, as always, try it on your own if you want to. I'm going to just go ahead and factor. Yeah, I'm going to just do it like this. So you still have square roots on the front and the back. You can still put them, it doesn't matter. Still square roots on the front and the back, minus and plus. Now this one is the wrong way around, so I'm going to pull that minus in the front, which will allow me to fix it. I'm going to write it as x plus 5, just because we're used to seeing it that way. Now cancel those out. I've got minus x plus 1 over x plus 5. Okay, I don't know how many more we got here. This is the same thing over and over again, but you can always move ahead on the video. If you don't care, I'll do it, I guess. Okay, so I want to reduce these, but I can't. Wrong way around. It's going to bring the minus out front. Now I jumped ahead, but you see, if I pull the minus out, this will be the right way around, so I can cancel them. And then I just wrote this the other way. Okay, that's all there. So it is an important trick because we're going to keep seeing it in the more difficult sections that will come over the next few days. So make sure you get that so we can reverse it by pulling out a -1. Again, super important trick.